Producing major key signatures for sharp keys. The objectives of this lesson: to review our memorized major keys, to review the process for producing flat key signatures, and then to provide a process for producing the number of sharps in any major key. So let's review. C major, that's one of our memorized scales, has no sharps and no flats. What was the other one? It was F major, and it had one flat, that flat being B flat. The rule for flat keys: if I know I'm looking for a flat key signature, all I have to do to find the last flat is to go over 1. If you don't know what that means, you probably need to watch the key signature video on flats again. Okay? So, what's the process for sharps? It would be really confusing if we made the process different than we used from the flat key signature, so we're going to use a similar process with a little tweak. So, the question is, given a key, like A, F sharp, G major, D major, C sharp major, E major, or B major, what's in the key signature? What's in the key of A major? What's in the key of D major? Well, again, we have to use bead GCF, and we need to find the last sharp. If we can find the last sharp, you know how many sharps are in the key signature. So the key, there's the pun, to finding a key signature is to be able to find the last flat or sharp. So in this case, we're going to focus on the last sharp. How do we find it? So let's look at the application of finding only the last sharp. Let's start there. If I know the last sharp, how many sharps do I have? That's my question now. If my last sharp is D sharp, that's right here. How many sharps are there? Now, most of you are going to say 4 because you remember the other video. Some of you will say BEAD, but this is the deal here. Sharps start on this side, so we do have 4 sharps, but they are FCGD. You have to read it backwards. 4 sharps. Let's do another one. We're just looking for the last sharp and seeing if we know what they are. So if my last sharp is A sharp, right here, how many sharps do I have? Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 sharps. What if my last sharp is G sharp? How many sharps do I have? 1. There's your G sharp. Let's start counting. 1, 2, 3. F, C, G. There you go. So now that we know how many sharps are in a key, if we know the last sharp, we have to figure out how to find the last sharp for a key signature if we know the name of the key. For major keys with sharps, find the last sharp by going over to the right 2 from the key name and bead GCF. So, you're probably confused again. Let's apply it. Pick a key with sharps. Here you go. The key of E. How many sharps are in the key of E? Well, here's E. What do? I go over 2 to the right. That's where the last sharp is. So, over 2 is D. D is the last sharp. How many sharps are there in the key of E? There are 4. F, C, G, D. Let's try another one. What's in the key of B? Well, first, there's the key, B. What's the rule for sharps? You find the last sharp by going over 2. 1, 2, last sharp, A sharp. Therefore, how many sharps? 5. F, C, G, D, A. Those are your sharps in the key of B. Let's do one more. Key of G. There's the key. How do you find the last sharp? The last sharp, you go over 2 from the key name. So go over 2 from G. 1, 2. What's the last sharp? F. So how many sharps are in that key? Well, F is the first sharp, excuse me, and it's also the last sharp, so therefore there's only 1 sharp. Those are a few examples. And it may be a little confusing at this point, but as you do it a few times, you'll find that it gets easier. And thanks for watching.